From Transformers Age of the Primes comes the Autobot Red Alert, the Armada version. But yes, while I'm going to go through this is a versus review. So I'll be putting Armada Red Alert up against Age of the Primes Red Alert. And we're going to compare them bit by bit. There's already, I can see a size difference, but we're going to go through them, talk about them, and you get to tell me in the comments which one you think is better. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. If you're a longtime watcher, thanks so much for coming back. That is totally awesome. And we're going to have fun putting these guys up against each other. Be right back. All right, so we are going to start with the Age of the Primes Red Alert. And as you can see, it's a window box. So again, I'm still very happy about that. And the box is kind of nice. Shows him on the side there. Shows the golden calves, the golden statues of the Primes right there. Shows a barcode on the bottom. And of course, on the back, it shows him and his vehicle mode plus his weapon coming out in vehicle mode. So see what that's about. But as I have not yet opened it, I gotta break out the knife and take him out and display him on his cardboard prison. So there he is, suspended in midair. He's got Autobot paper, and those Autobot symbols look a little bigger than the usual Autobot paper, so they can do variations on Autobot paper, but they can't do Decepticon paper. I mean, this obviously is appropriate because he's an Autobot, but I am looking forward to seeing some Decepticon paper. And speaking of paper, we got this shitty piece of paper, which I'm gonna get rid of because I already know not to feed it to children. All right, don't need the box. We might need the instructions, and I'm gonna fold this up in case we get visited by feline friends that they've been fighting, so I don't know if they're gonna come out tonight. Yes, I'm shooting this review at night. So I've snapped off a bunch of plastic crap, and there he is. Now, his feet were slightly pointed, so I'm gonna flatten them out, put them on the turntable, zoom in to give a close look, and then I'm going to get rid of this plastic shit. Let's get this Autobot paper, which no doubt has accessories off of here. Yeah, these are bigger Autobot symbols than normal, so they've got new Autobot paper. I look forward to the Decepticon paper. So here we have his weapon. We have the double end of the, what used to be a missile. I'm gonna put that right there, because I think that's where it goes. And we have two attachments, gun attachment, double gun. I'm not sure if one of these is supposed to help him fix things. Believe it or not, this character was called Ratchet in Japan. All right, plastic shit off my table. Let's take a look at this guy. So first of all, he should be able to hold his gun. Yes, he can. And he should be able to have an attachment instead of just having no hand there. Now I'm gonna check out the instructions here. I put that in the right spot, just so you know. Now it is showing that there is storage for these, apparently on the back of the leg, just like so. Now the flat piece you wanna have facing towards the outer wall, or else it doesn't quite stay in there. And I'm noticing he's got a piece of plastic on him, I guess to hold things together. In addition, this weapon, you can flip this piece over, plug the gun in, and it can go over his shoulder or can be stored. Apparently, you need to remove the missile storage part. Now, I'm trying to put the little missile piece here, but it does not seem to want to go. So I'm wondering if there is an alternative way to store it. And it is not showing in the instructions how to do that. So, but like the original, it looks like you can also put up his shoulders. Not seeing any storage for this there. Little disappointing. It may be an undocumented thing, but there is some kind of storage for it. If you guys figure it out, please let me know. And soon enough, we'll take a look at vehicle mode, but first, let's check out some posability. And of course, the first thing we need to do, see if he can do a full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme, and just about. There's a slight angle there, I think because of the way his thighs are constructed, so he can nearly do it, but not 100%. Which means he also can't do a split. Shame. He does have generous ankle swivels, like so, and he can kick forward. Actually, it's a good height. Back is a problem. You're not getting past that. Sidekick, obviously, he can do a pretty good one. It's not a full split one, but he can get pretty high. Now he bends at the knee. He also has double jointed legs, so he bends lower. I think that's probably part of the transformation, and he's got a nice little protrusion there to cause damage when kneeing someone. He can swivel all the way around, so very nice. The swivel is right above the knee. Can he twist at the waist? Yes, he can. It does kind of push his little backpack a little bit, but that's all right. Arms, can go all the way around. It does bring these door shoulder covers with it. Can also go off to the side. Then you just have to flip the doors again. Now it appears that right out of the package, mine's a little misaligned. There we go. So it was actually to the side, but twisting the fist and twisting the upper arm made it a normal hand. So he can bend at the elbow, he can pivot out. The other arm, same thing. So in my case, and this may be standard, it may not be, but his arms were turned so that the elbows were facing outward. So you do need to do that and not try to force it, and now he's all good. And the fists, as I just mentioned, do twist. No articulated fingers or anything like that. The head does not easily want to turn, but okay, there we go. It's just a little stiff, but the head turns all the way around. If it didn't, I'd be a little shocked. And you can put that little double missile head in his hand. It can actually be a tool. Not a tool like Logan is, but a tool. There you go. He does have ports up here and on his shoulders, so I don't know what those are for. Can put that up there if you want. He's got ports on his forearms. They're all hexagonal, 6 sides. But there you have him. The age of the primes. Red Alert. And you can see he's got the kind of red cross style thing with an Autobot symbol in it, a symbol on his chest. And he also has light piping. So the back of his head is clear red, so his eyes will be red, which is normally a sign of evil, but apparently not in this case. All right, before we get into the vehicle mode, we got to look at what came before. The Armada Red Alert. And as you can see, unlike the Age of the Primes, he's got his Minicon partner, Longarm, who that's also the name of a certain character in Transformers Animated that, yeah, he has issues. There's Longarm in his robot mode. We're going to put him aside for now, but we will be bringing him back because there are some things that he can activate. But as you can see, very similar in form. He's got heels that help him be very stable. Now he's got to bring the Minicon back a little sooner than I thought. He's got a similar weapon, and your ears did not deceive you. That was some electronic noises, so he's got electronics, unlike Age of the Primes. Now, when it comes to things like electronics and stuff, it's a neat gimmick, but I'm fine with it not being in toys, so. But he's got the double missile, which earlier I fired this across my living room and it was a pain to find because like hit a box and ricocheted, but it's got a little clamp here so it can fly off and grab you, crush your nards. So he's got that. He's also got the weapon there on his hand. Now I am going to fold this over so you can see he's got the other piece in storage right there, which is handy. Now I'm going to bring back the Minicon, but I'm going to transform him. Before I do that, just to show his posability, his arms go forward, his legs can go forward, and he does have kind of a knee joint. That's about it. I don't think the head turns. I'm not even going to try. But he changes into this little construction vehicle. Roll test, he doesn't roll all that well. So there's a number of things you can do with him. As you saw him initially, he could just ride on Red Alert's shoulder, just hanging out, not really doing anything. He can attach to the back, and he activates electronics. Sounds like firing. And when this is back, pulling that back, we'll release it and it'll flip forward. Also, when you put him up here, whoa, the front opens up. And if you pull him back, it makes a noise and he shoots out this Autobot disc. It actually looks kind of like a steering wheel, but it's a single projectile weapon that can kick some butt. That is something that the new one does not have. Now, other places, obviously, other shoulder. And on this side, there is a port and a little view screen type thing. And you can put him there so he's, I don't know, watching TV. I have no idea what that's for. I just fired the missile over there. I'm leaving it. We don't need it for the rest of this. But do a spin on the turntable of doom. He's leaning a little bit forward. Can change that. But he's pretty stable. I'm not just talking mentally, though mentally he's pretty stable. Unlike the G1 Red Alert. You're all trying to get me. Okay, I think that was a decent G1 Red Alert. But yeah, so let's go over some posability with this guy. I'm going to take this weapon out, and I'll even reattach it. It can be used as a shoulder weapon, but we're going to click it into place. All right, first thing, there is no way he is doing a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He can spread his legs a little bit. Shut up, Logan. But yeah, no split, no Jean-Claude Van Damme. He does not have ankle swivels. This was before the days of ankle swivels. Though you can move his feet forward, that's actually part of the transformation. Again, he's got the little heels here to help with stability. He can kick forward. He can kick back, though he runs into his backpack. Side kick, like I said, nope, not happening. He can bend at the knee. Now the bend is not all that much. Maybe 45-ish degrees, maybe 50, not full 90. But he does have swiveling on his lower legs, so you can swivel the legs around, though not all the way around. You can swivel like so and back. Can he twist at the waist? That has not happened. We're talking some older style posability here. Arms can go all the way around, though you gotta be careful, you could actually pop the whole arm off. That pops in there. What happens is as you go around, the door hits that, so it's not all the way around, but decent range of motion. He can bend at the elbow. He's got a swivel. You can put his arm out to the side. You can put it back down. You can, of course, raise his fist, so he's calling down thunder. I bet he could carry Mjolnir. He's worthy. Now his head can actually turn all the way around. Now a little bit about the deco. He does have the light piping, by the way, so his eyes are also red. He's got some red crosses on the side there. It's got the Autobot symbol on the top. Not as many Autobot symbols as the Age of the Primes. I think you're over-identifying. And of course, he's got a Minicon. As you can see, there is a difference in height, which you kind of knew that when you were going in. Just want to take a look. It looks like he's got heels too, so that's good. I didn't notice that before, so they don't seem to want to come out. Soldier. I do have to say the heels were a pain in the ass to get out. Much easier with the original. But that does add some stability to him. Do a nice spin on the turntable of doom. I mean, you can definitely tell it's the same character. There's lots of similarities, but again, the height difference. Age of the Primes from head to feet is about 6 inches, while the original Armada Red Alert from head to feet, about 8 inches, maybe 7 3/4, maybe 7.5. It's hard to measure when he's got this huge thing on his back, and it's not even a monkey. So another spin on the turntable. I mean, they're both good representations. This one has electronics. This one has a little more posability. This one, you can store his missile in here. You don't have to take it out when you flip it back, even though it's over there. Yes, I know. All right, let's put them into vehicle mode. So there's the Age of Primes in vehicle mode. I have to say the transformation was actually pretty clean, though I had forgotten to push the arms together and post them together. So I had to kind of redo that part, but as long as you don't mess up like me, you should be fine. Very solid transformation. Now this still comes forward in vehicle mode, so you can fire whatever. And under here, I have to say this gun, let me see, maybe I can push it in a little bit more. It doesn't stay 100% down. There's a slight gap. So I don't know if that's a me thing or a quality thing. But under this, there is a spot for the actual missile tip. So you can actually put it in there. So he does have storage for that particular weapon. And he's got very yellow headlights, just notice that. So a decent vehicle, 4.5 inches long. I mean, he's a Voyager, supposedly. They're not making Voyagers the way they used to. They're making them kind of small. But we gotta test out rolling. And I have to say, Siege was a low point for rolling, but a lot of the stuff since the War for Cybertron trilogy has rolled pretty well. Legacy, a good amount of it rolled pretty well. And I have to say, no problems thus far with anything from Age of Primes. So very nice, very nice. We'll put him aside and we'll take a look at the vehicle mode of the original. So there's the original Armada Red Alert in vehicle mode. Oh, we gotta adjust his windshield. There we go, all better. Now, one thing I did that I don't know if it's in the instructions, and I'm too lazy to go into the other room where I actually have the instructions, but I pivoted the lower legs, and the reason for that is because there is the Minicon port on one of these sides that actually kind of keeps it from pushing in all the way, but by turning the lower legs, that may be part of the instructions, and I'm just not remembering from all those years ago, 20 years ago, or maybe I just never did it right. But let's see. We do have a very nice vehicle mode. One thing, I will do a little comparison, but I do like the back on the new one a little bit better. So here we can again bring out the weapon and have electronic sounds. That's nice. We can fire the disc, I believe. I put the Minicon on there properly. You can fire the disc and make electronic noises while in vehicle mode. You can also ride on the door or the other door, or you can drive alongside. All right, roll test. Going back many years. It's very smooth rolling. And this one is 7 inches long. Logan. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see them both, and we'll do a spin. Now, one thing I like about the new one is how it actually covers up the back here, whereas this, you can actually see the separate areas. There's no cover for that, unfortunately. But the tops are very similar. They can both deploy their weapons. This part is very similar. That's a little bit different because of his head folds in on this one, whereas this one folds back. The Autobot symbol here is like all red with no white eyes or anything. This is a little bit more defined. Similar deco, similar placement of the Red Cross symbols, though again, this one has the Red Cross symbol with the Autobot symbol in there, and has ports on the sides and the top. Again, not sure what those are for. That may be something revealed later on during the Age of Primes, the Primes. There's definitely a size difference, but I think there's advantages to both. I do like the wheel wells much better on that one than on this one. This is kind of skimpy. I'm sure there's going to be an upgrade kit at some point. But yeah, they're both very cool. And I will put links in the description so you can get this one. This one, you're gonna have to go to eBay. I'll put a link in the description so you can go right to the listings. This one, probably still available in some retail stores, so I'll put links to those, and also eBay in case you're watching this later on and it's no longer available in retail stores. But they're very cool. I think both of them have pluses and minuses. You let me know which one you think is better. Does size matter? Shut up, Logan. Is covering one's ass more important? But they're both fun. And I hope you're having fun watching these videos. If you are enjoying this content, by all means, feel free to subscribe. That'd be totally awesome. Oh, and we also have the memberships now, so check that out. And we have members-only live streams. Every first Tuesday of the month, we talk Transformers, and I break out some weird stuff. Not that weird. Shut up, Logan. But anyways, while you're mulling these guys over, I want to check out this video, which is a comparison between the Armada Prime and the Legacy Armada Prime. Another cool upgrade, downgrade, you tell me. And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.